Hello and a warm welcome to the Federal. I'm Neelu Vyas. Telangana Rashtra Samithi, that is TRS, till recently was a regional party in Telangana, but now it has gone national and is known as the Bharat Rashtra Samithi. Its goals and objectives are very clear: to oppose BJP tooth and nail, which is quite similar to Congress. BRS is also trying to forge a national alliance for 2024. But can it join hands with Congress? How far has it succeeded? All these are questions which are still in the realm of confusion. And we are just trying to guess as to what the party is trying to explore as its options. I'm joined by K Kavitha, who is a BRS leader and a prominent face of Telangana, who's going national. And she's also the daughter of KCR, who is the Chief Minister of Telangana's daughter. Thank you, Kavitha, for joining on the Federal. Uh, Kavitha, my first question to you is that since the time TRS has become BRS, what are the kind of moves which the party has made, in the last few months? And are you happy with the way the party is progressing?
Absolutely, ma'am. Neeluji, you've seen the progress of Telangana yourself. You visited Telangana, and I'm sure with the kind of experience you have as a journalist, you've seen many success stories that have come out from our state. So we do have a proof of concept where when we say and confidently say that these things can be done in a time-bound manner, basic necessities of the people can be fulfilled in a time-bound manner. So when we've changed ourselves into a national party and when we are appealing to the people across the nation, we come with this confidence and with this history that we have created in Telangana. So in that context, when we are working and expanding in various states, there has been a welcoming response in Maharashtra, Orissa, and various other states. And most of the states where they're asking us to go, we are very strategically picking and choosing where BRS should be expanding. Because as you already know, ma'am, Honorable CM KCR Garu, even for the formation of Telangana state, he's worked with almost 37 parties. He's garnered support of all those parties to convince then the Congress, which was in power, to tell them that, see, the consensus is there, please give us the state. So we've done all the dirty work that the Congress itself was supposed to take initiative and do. But in the process, we have forged many alliances, many friendships, and there are many people who stood with us during the formation and agitation of Telangana. And going forward, we believe these friendships are still strong, and we are approaching each and every party in the country. Honorable CM Garu had met many of these leaders. And the concept and the strategy here is to keep holding rallies which show the unity of various parties. And that is what we've been doing. We've done it in Khammam. Next, again, we will do it in Hyderabad. And we will continue to do it. Idea is to present a concept to this nation that development, basic things like power, water, agriculture, jobs can be created in the state if we work hard enough, and that too in a time-bound manner. So this is our project name that we have taken up, and we hope people of India will support us the way people of Telangana have been supporting and blessing us.
But Kavitha, don't you think that the party like BRS, when the goals and objectives are quite similar to what Congress says, wouldn't the party stand to gain more if you join hands with Congress?
Ma'am, I would beg to defer you on your statement when you said goals and objectives of Congress and BRS are same. Goals and objectives of Congress have always been to come into power, and they were given a huge mandate and chance by the nation number of times, and they have never worked like what BRS has worked. They have never worked in a time-bound manner. They did not till date. If we do not have power in our villages, we do not have drinking water facilities in our villages, Congress is equally responsible to be blamed, not just the BJP. And if a party like TRS in Telangana can change the face of the state in 8 years, why could Congress and BJP put together could not do it in 75 years? So fundamentally, there is a difference. The problem with Congress and BJP is there is a sense of entitlement. If not BJP, people will vote for Congress. If not Congress, people will vote for BJP. So there is a sense of this default election that might happen in this nation. But in a very positive trend, Niluji, I would say that these parties should now realize that in every state there is a third force. Like in Telangana, there is no BJP, there is no Congress, TRS is the leader. In Tamil Nadu, there is only IDMK, DMK, BJP, Congress are very far behind. In Kerala, in West Bengal, in many states, in Maharashtra, wherever you see, ma'am, BJP and Congress are facing.
I agree with what you're saying, but a force like BJP, which has a brute majority at the center. So don't you think that if your main objective is to oppose BJP, to dethrone BJP, then wouldn't it be better if all the opposition parties come together? And why to talk about a third front? There should be just one front, or maybe a coalition which opposes BJP.
Niluji, the fundamental question here is if we need to dislodge BJP from power, we need to explain to people that what BJP has done wrong, which the Congress should have been ideally doing in all these 8-9 years. Right. And they obviously failed. They could not reach the people and tell the people that BJP is doing so and so. Whereas we, being a regional party at that point of time, we could stop the BJP from expanding into various states. In our state, we stopped BJP. We have more number of MPs in Telangana than BJP does. So that Congress could not do. So in that context, when you look at them, yes, dislodging BJP from the power is priority. But there are two approaches to it. One, you need to spread this awareness that BJP has failed, which Congress is not very effectively doing. So there, all the regional parties come out, like how Mr. Akhilesh Yadav could put up a decent fight in Uttar Pradesh versus how Congress did it in Uttar Pradesh. That's the best example. Tomorrow, if we ride on the back of the Congress, we might face a result of Uttar Pradesh, where Mr. Akhilesh is not empowered, where Congress is dismal in the performance, and the BJP comes back to power. So that we do not want at the center to be repeated. If the possibility of losing when you go with Congress is on a higher side, then it is for the Congress to also introspect. Am I helping dislodging BJP, or am I helping BJP to come back to power?
When you speak to the Congress leaders, they say that BRS is working in the direction to help BJP and not oppose BJP. And they say that sometimes it also becomes a beep team of BJP.
Ma'am, this has been a very age-old tactic of both these so-called national parties, BJP and Congress. Now there are many. Aam Aadmi Party is going national, BRS is going national, TMC wants to go national. There are many parties who want to go national and who are very effective leaders, by the way, when compared to Mr. Modi's performance. Now Congress, which was originally a national party, now has become a bigger regional party. And Congress is still living in that age-old जो भ्रम बोलते हैं ना, एज ओल्ड misconception ki we are still the strong party whatever we were, which is not the case. Now that's why we say ki Congress should shed their arrogance. Congress should seriously introspect, do a forensic audit kind of a thing where they know where they are faulting. Ma'am, today out of 29 states, Congress is only in power in 3 states. And in other 3 or 4 states, they're sharing power. And wherever they're sharing power, they have no meaningful contribution to the entire, coalition. So in that case, why should any party approach Congress?
They might not be in power in many states, but they still are a big force on the ground if you look at the cadre presence.
And they have 55 seats in parliament today. And today, if you put BRS, TMC, Mr. Stalin and Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Uddhavji Thackeray, and if all the Mr. Naveen Patnaik, if all these regional forces put together, ma'am, Congress is somewhere behind. Congress only has 55 seats on its own. And whatever partners Congress today has as a part of UPA, there are hardly 1-member parties. There are 7-8 parties which are with them today. So every party, including Mr. Tejasvi Yadav, also gave this open statement one day when he said Congress should let the regional parties lead where it cannot lead. So all I'm saying is, ma'am, yes, opposition unity is important, but Congress should learn to be a team player. They should not aspire to lead someone because they are not in a position to do so. And they have failed the country repeatedly, both in exposing the failures of BJP, both in stopping the wrongdoings of BJP. Ma'am, there were 3 anti-farmer laws which were created by the BJP government, which were bought by the BJP government. Tell me what was the fight put up by Congress? It was only the farmers who stood there for a year It was farmers' victory and it was Congress's failure. Now, if we are going to ride on a failed party, what will we be tomorrow? That's a question in not only BRS's mind, every opposition's mind.
So which means that the question of BRS or maybe the coalition which you are aspiring for, there is no chance you can join hands with Congress.
All I'm saying is, ma'am, it is not the responsibility of BRS or TMC or a DMK to decide what is good for the country. It is fundamentally responsible of Congress to understand and approach other parties. It is not, the burden should not be on us, burden should be on Congress.
So you mean
they have repeatedly failed the Congress.
So what I'm trying to understand from what you're saying is that if Congress, supposing, comes to you and asks you to join hands with them, so will BRS be ready for that?
Ma'am, let them come. Where are they coming? They're still doing their manthan in Chhattisgarh. Let them come to the sense, let them come to realize and understand and do a proper forensic audit of their strengths and weaknesses, and let them come out openly to and appeal to everybody, not only me. See, today, Naveen Patnaik is an able administrator, KCR Garu is an able administrator, Mamata Banerjee is an able administrator. Why is there only few people from Congress who can do this? No, that is not the case anymore. And all of these people are better than Modi ji. That much I can tell you. So there has to be an alternate for Modi ji. It does not necessarily have to be from Congress. It could be from any one of these regional players.
Yeah, but Kavitha, if you look at the larger and the broader coalition which you are talking about, there are too many leaders. If all these leaders come together, you have a Mamata Banerjee, you have Mr. KCR, you have a Sharad Pawar, you have a Uddhav Thackeray, and all these leaders have some kind of an ambition, which is for the highest seat. And looking at the past experiences, these coalitions have not lasted long. And in the past also, Mr. KCR tried to work on a coalition which didn't go anywhere. So how determined you are that this experiment will succeed? And after 2 terms, BJP is now vying for the 3rd term. So the idea should be to oppose BJP completely on any cost, shedding all the egos, shedding all sorts of differences. All these parties should come together if the larger goal is to dislodge BJP.
And there are too many questions in one, but then I'll address it, ma'am. Point 1, to shed the differences. To show that there is a sense of unity. KCR Garu has turned his party's name from TRS to BRS. That in itself is a commitment that we will work at national level and we will stick to the development of this nation, and in the nation's interest we will do anything. Point 2, if a opposition is led by a KCR or a Kejriwal or a Mamata, what problem does Congress have? Why should it be a Congress-led alternative? And why will I say this, ma'am? Earlier in this country, whenever there were experiments, when opposition came together, where BJP or Congress said that we will support you from behind, they've always sabotaged a third front government to be there. So these 2 national parties very clearly do not want a third alternative in this country. But today, what is good for the country? Not these 2 parties. That the time has proved. 75 years after independence, we still don't have drinking water. That means these 2 parties have failed. Yes, to defeat BJP, if Congress has to be there on the side of the opposition, then Congress should learn to sit and rub shoulders with others, not to crawl up on somebody's head and lead.
But this third force definitely is a success in certain regions, as in Telangana, your party is there. In Bengal, you have Trinamool Congress. These are still regional forces doing very well. But to come together on a national platform and to offer a viable alternative to BJP, do you think that's really easy? And will the people really buy that? Because when you talk about the national picture, generally the general refrain amongst the people in India is that who is the alternative to Modi? That's a larger question when you go on the ground. So how will you offer an answer to that question?
Ma'am, first of all, Mr. Modi is not 1 to 543 in this country. Out of 543 MPs, he's first among the equal. So he'll be contesting in 1 seat, and there will be 543 seats, out of which today the majority is with the opposition. And if all of us will come together, there is a fair chance that we can beat Mr. Modi. Point 1. Point 2, ma'am, Mr. Modi was also a regional force once upon a time. He happens to be in a so-called national platform, but 2014 se pehle, he was also chief minister, he was also only leading Gujarat, and he said that if I can develop Gujarat in certain model, I can do the same thing to the country. People believed him, people gave him a chance. So when it comes to alternative, ma'am, now earlier there was only one alternative. Today we have 3, 4, 5 alternatives. Let the people pick and choose. Not an issue. And the alternative will certainly emerge over a period of time. There is no doubt about it. But meanwhile, all of us, like Mr. Kejriwal, Mamta Di, as Stalin, all of us are making the right noise to reach to the people. Now, conceptually, if you can expose the failures of BJP, it is a matter of time. Everything will fall in place, and certainly an alternative can be built. That is our belief. That is why we are focusing more on pushing the people-friendly agenda that we have been successfully doing it in our states, exposing the failures of BJP. That is what we are trying to do.
But Kavitha, why is there a feeling or rather a perception that this particular coalition, which you all are trying for, doesn't look very clear with what it wants? Now, say, for example, and also with the parties you have allied. Say, for example, BRS and left, there is an alliance in Telangana. Then the same left parties have an alliance in Kerala with Congress. Now, isn't that some kind of a divergence and some kind of a variance when it comes to the larger goals and objectives? Because left is also with Congress, left is also with you. So again, that same question that, if you come together with Congress, don't you stand to gain more rather than fighting a battle which is solo?
All I'm saying is, ma'am, India is a very, very big country, huge country. With each and every state the size of a nation, we all have our own problems, issues, likes and dislikes. As in Telangana, we might not like Congress, but in Rajasthan, Congress probably has a chance. In Karnataka, Congress probably has a chance. So if assuming tomorrow Congress picks up 10 in Karnataka, TRS picks up 10 in Telangana, let us see how we come together. It could be post-poll, it could be pre-poll. It does not matter. But who's making the right noise right now, and how are we exposing the failures of Mr. Modi and the BJP government? That is also important. In that sense, ma'am, today I'll again tell you, Congress has been a epic failure. I could say that when compared to people like DMK, who could make the right noise and come back to power very recently. So if the responsibility is to present people with an alternate agenda, it is only the state CMs who are sitting currently or state leaders who have a regional aspiration. They are the ones who can push, because we are the closest to the people. We've tried this national party model for 75 years, and I believe it is time for change, and we believe it is time for change. And I strongly believe, ma'am, in this 1 year, we can make that right appeal to the people, and we will garner support of the people.
But in the recent big coalition meet which you had, Nitish Kumar was not there. And Nitish Kumar generally sides with the Congress. And as he made a statement recently that Congress should rise from its slumber, to which Jairam Ramesh snubbed Nitish Kumar. And then you had a statement coming from Mallikarjun Kharge, who said that 2024 will be an alliance government which is going to be headed by Congress. And no coalition is going to succeed without the Congress. Now, there is a larger feeling on this. How would you really respond to that?
And there's a contradiction in your statement. Nitish Kumar ji generally sides with Congress. He was in government of BJP, like till recently. And until the BJP backstabbed him, and he realized, and he made friends with Tejasvi ji. So it is about a dynamic situation that could emerge, and people will change sides. That's why I'm saying 1.5 years is too long a time. Anything can happen in politics.
BRS also can change its stand. BRS also can change its stand, and you can side with Congress.
BRS today very strongly believes that we need a change in this country. Now, how can that change be brought about? And what is the most credible alternate? BRS will certainly want to, play a key role in that. Now, Mr. Kharge's statements, when you are saying that we will lead, this arrogance is what I'm talking about. Mr. Kharge also should realize, he's a very senior politician, very respected man. He should also realize that his strength will not be sufficient today to rule across the nation. It is simply not happening.
No, but they do claim that they can bring together the parties. And they are already
talking. Let them try.
That he's already talking to all the opposition parties.
Yes, ma'am. Let them talk to all the opposition parties. And you've heard so much of dissent from various parties saying, why should you only lead? You can be a team player. Let somebody else lead. Let it be anybody. It doesn't matter. Let it be anybody.
You feel that this is the biggest drawback with Congress, that they are not a team player, and they are always wanting to lead the coalition.
Absolutely, because they're irresponsible and they're constantly aiming for power but not people's welfare. If they truly want something to change in the lives of the people, and if they truly want the BJP to be dislodged, they should let other people lead and then form a coalition. Then maybe everybody will come together. I don't know. I'm just pitching the idea. But idea today is if Congress wants to not shed its arrogance and not shed its sense of entitlement that we can rule the country whenever they're fed up with Modi ji, that's not how it's going to work anymore in future.
But recently, we also heard KCR Garu praising former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. Then he made a mention that Manmohan Singh is a wonderful PM and he's better than Modi. Now, what are those overtones? I mean, these kind of overtones, what do they signify? I mean, are you trying to stretch out an olive branch to Congress? Are those signals that BRS can or maybe open to the idea of coming together with Congress?
Ma'am, when Mr. Modi made a very derogatory remark on Honorable late Rajiv Gandhi ji, my leader was the only person who reacted in this whole nation. I think Himanta Biswa Sema, I'm sorry to correct myself, Himanta Biswa Sema made a statement, and my leader was the only one to come to defend Mr. Rahul Gandhi, just for the sense of having dignified politics in this country, not for anything else. So if Congress is failing to defend its own leader, how are they going to defend the nation tomorrow? And if they are, if Honorable KCR Garu had said Nehru ji had done a lot of work, he has. Of course he has, which the Congress could then not continue. That's the only issue here. And if you have said Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had done work, he has. Those are the facts and figures of this country. If Congress is not able to highlight their own successes, nor are they able to highlight the BJP's failure, how can they lead this nation? That's all I'm saying.
But talking about the Andhra and the Telangana region also, now TDP and YSR CP also have come together. Sharmila is trying to make moves. Now, how does that really impact your party and the kind of future moves you're making?
Actually, in Andhra, TDP and YSR CP are still rivals now. Sharmila is trying to she's floated at the political party in Telangana and she's trying to go to the people, etc. So we welcomed everybody, whoever wants to make a political pitch to the people, let them make. End of the day, the result will speak, and we are confident that in Telangana, BRS will come back to the power for the third time. In Andhra, we have no idea what is going to happen right now because BRS will also make a serious entry into Andhra, and then the whole game might change. So that is for time to prove. But then in Telangana, we're very confident that we are coming back to power.
Coming to the notice which was sent to you regarding the liquor scam, that was also another bit, trying to, BJP in a way trying to say that, this is a party which indulges in corruption and a whole lot of charges which they made. How would you really go to the people when these kind of charges are made and BJP saying all sorts of things? How would you really respond to that?
Ma'am, first of all, today everybody understands that BJP is trying to silence whoever wants to speak against them. So in an attempt to silence Honorable KCR Garu, they have been troubling all the party members, including me. I'm one among them. But most of our party members are being graded or called for or sent notices for by various agencies, IT, CBI, ED, everybody. So it's no big deal. People today in Telangana do understand. And they've been openly telling us that, election season, all this is going to happen. Stay strong. This is a message that I've got. I mean, I have saved so many messages on my phone when people send supportive messages to me saying, stay strong, Akka, we are with you, etc. Because people understand, man, now that this is a tactic to, if British's tactic was to divide and rule, Mr. Modi's tactic is to raid and rule. That is what he's been doing, so that everybody understands. So nobody takes it in a negative sense, nor there is any merit in any of these cases. So there is nothing much I can comment on the cases. But we've seen in Maharashtra, especially 27 MLAs are being charged by ED, then this will change sides, and then there is a BJP coalition government in Maharashtra. In 9 states in this country, we've seen that. And in Telangana also, they tried to do the same.
But what happens? I mean, this is a question which is slightly speculative. But what happens if BJP does the same thing in Telangana?
They're doing the same thing. They tried to do the same thing. We stalled them, right? We did a sting on their people who came to, literal term to buy the MLAs off, etc. We did a sting, we stalled them. Then again, of course, they said it's a CBI case, it's an ED case, that they took over, and then there is no inquiry happening ever. So it's just the classic washing powder Nirma case, man, where an ED will raid, and if that leader decides to join BJP, then all is well, everything is good. Otherwise, we are corrupt, we are Parivarwad, and all that they will continuously say, but people won't buy it anymore, man. People are realizing now. And when you talk about BJP not being corrupt, it is now not the perception anymore with the people. At least until last month, January 25th, until the Hindenburg report hit, maybe Modi ji's image was a little bit cleaner compared to other people, because they constantly try and put that stain on everybody else, but they want to show up that they are clean. But now, after this 1 month, when today LIC shares actually dipped negative, people know and understand that Mr. Modi is not clean. Mr. Modi is corrupt. If BJP is also corrupt, Mr. Modi is also corrupt, then the regional players or the leaders like KCR, Kejriwal, all of these people who have done some visible change in their lives, I believe people will go for them.
How do you feel that should the probe in this Hindenburg case should progress? Should there be a JPC? Should there be a Supreme Court monitored inquiry? Of course, it's already there and Supreme Court is going to form a panel. But there is a difference. Like Trinamool Congress insisted only on a Supreme Court monitored committee. They didn't go for JPC at all. So that's also another difference which is coming on the forefront as far as the opposition parties are concerned. What does BRS's stand on this?
Ma'am, I'll just take a little bit long to answer this question, because see, if a country is being ruled by the polity, whatever mistakes or whatever scams or whatever cons like this scale should be examined by the polity as well. It should not be a burden on just the judiciary. You should not just leave it to the executive to do the search and leave it. The political parties and the polity have to intervene into the matter, because the kind of angle and the perspective that political person can bring to the whole investigation will be definitely brilliant. And we have amazing minds in both the houses of the parliament. There should be a joint parliamentary committee that should be formed, is what BRS believes. And the second alternative BRS said was there should be an inquiry led by a sitting Supreme Court judge. But now what has happened is it became a hybrid model, when all the opposition parties, because the Honorable Prime Minister was not responding in the parliament, went to the court. Court itself had said, let us investigate. But now the problem is court is investigating on the Hindenburg report, not on the Adani companies. So if the court is tomorrow going to investigate only on the Hindenburg report, how will the solution be comprehensive? That is our apprehension. So if a joint parliamentary committee is formed, which will investigate into Hindenburg accusations, which will investigate into investments of Mr. Adani, and then various agencies can be then called and questioned by these committees, then it will be a comprehensive thing. So a joint parliamentary committee will be a powerful tool to unearth the whole scam that has happened. That is why government is not allowing it. But ideally, if Mr. Modi is clean, he should allow it.
But coming back to the same coalition question, Kavitha, and just few questions before I wind up the interview, that by when do you think that you will really be in a position to showcase the entire shape of the coalition which your party is aspiring for? That, look, this is party A, B, C, which is along with BRS. By when can you really formalize that?
Ma'am, we have never shied away from showing the unity. When Mr. Kejriwal had invited my father, he had gone to Delhi. We went to Punjab, did a rally there and gave the checks away to the farmers who passed away. We went to Bihar, we went to Jharkhand, we went to Kerala, and then we've invited all those chief ministers as well. So multiple times a visible display of unity being shared by our Honorable CM in the last 3-4 years. And a huge display, a big rally was just done in Khammam, and there will be another rally that will be done in April. So this will certainly have a snowball effect. So small efforts have to be continuously made, and we are not shying away. We are making that effort. So whoever joins hands to strengthen that snowball effect, I believe that'll be there. But the ball should be kept rolling, which BRS, I believe, today is doing an effective job.
So, KCR's prime ministerial ambitions also people have seen. And supposing if the coalition which BRS is peddling for, and KCR becomes the prime ministerial candidate, do you really think that because he comes from the southern region, will he have an appeal for the post of the prime minister when you compare it with other leaders who've been on the prime minister's post. So how would you really say to that?
Ma'am, today's India thinks global. They do not think in terms of North India, South India, East India, West India. We don't think in that lines. Right. We think that
I'm talking about the appeal amongst the North Indians. That's
absolutely, absolutely. See, why should not a South Indian be the prime minister? And today, entire North India looks towards the south and says that the development that is happening here is like nowhere. Tomorrow, right, for all you know, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan could be a prime ministerial candidate. He could be the consensus candidate. Who cares? All we need to do is to dislodge a regime which is oppressing this country and sending this country decades back in terms of progress, in terms of international image, etc. So if that is the larger issue, who becomes the prime minister is a very silly and unwanted question right now. Because as I said, the snowball effect has to be built, then the candidates will automatically emerge. And it could be anybody. And BRS and KCR Garu at multiple times said, it could be a government led by anybody with whom we share the same ideals, as in terms of people's agenda, as in terms of not having communal rights, as in terms of having the basics delivered to the people, etc.
But the way the parties are projecting, Nitish Kumar also wants to become a prime minister. Mamata Banerjee also vying for the prime minister's post. KCR is also there. So there are too many people vying for that one post. How will a consensus emerge, and what is the guarantee that some kind of an ego trouble doesn't emerge out of the coalition, which is
the problem of plenty is always very, very good, especially in politics. The more leaders you have, the more ideas they get on the table, the easily it is to get a solution to crack into a prime minister candidate. That should not be an issue.
High the possibility
if we have less takers, that's a problem, ma'am, because then it looks like everybody is scared of Mr. Modi, or nobody wants to challenge him. Today there are, as per your list, there are so many people who want to challenge him. It's a good problem to have, ma'am, and I'm sure we'll come out with a great solution.
No, but BJP also knows that if there are too many leaders and there is no unity, then of course it's an advantage BJP.
Not at all. Not at all. Now I believe entire opposition understands the way this vindictive nature of this government, and particularly Mr. Modi, is affecting every party. The way ED raids shamelessly, I would say, just before an election, you go and raid anybody and everybody. Yesterday, they did not even let the Congress hold the plenary. Just before the plenary, 2 days, they're raiding all the Congress MLAs. Why is there only corruption on the opposition side? I don't understand. How are all the BJP leaders clean? What is happening there? Nobody wants to look there. And we are exposing Adani's misdoings time and again. We have openly appealed to ED saying there are 38 shell companies. It's a clear case of money laundering. ED will not even wink an eye. CBI won't wink an eye. SEBI just started giving by letter today itself because of the court pressure. If this is the situation of the country, and it's a happy moment, ma'am, where still there are so many takers, because today opposition understands that Mr. Modi and BJP has to go out of power for the rest of the country to breathe free air, and for journalists like you to, openly air their thoughts and process. This government has to.
Absolutely. Are you carrying the torch of BRS to go national? Because you can speak in Hindi, you can speak in English, you have a certain appeal, very friendly with the journalists. So has your father given you that principal responsibility of carrying the BRS torch across the country now?
No, ma'am, not yet. Party has not decided on any rules, or no national committee is decided yet. Because in various states, there are so many people joining, and interest is there, many requests coming in every day. So we are taking our time to form a national committee. But by then, as an ex-member of parliament, as you rightly said, ma'am, so many friends and well-wishers like you are giving me an opportunity to present my side. So I'm doing that for right now. But there will be a committee soon, ma'am.
But but Kavitha, where is the second rung leadership of BRS? Because I don't see, other than your father, you and your brother, KTR, we don't see the fourth person in the party who's very, very active and maybe who has a national appeal and who can go across the country. I may be wrong. I mean, I'm just asking.
No. There are many MPs, ma'am. All our MPs have been constantly fighting, putting up their fight. And today, with the activism of all of our BRS leaders, across Telangana, there has been an opinion which is built that Modi is corrupt, BJP has failed. We have to make sure that, we have to go convince. So people from every village today tell me, Akka, please send me there, please send me to Orissa, please send me to Maharashtra, we'll go and campaign against Modi. So there's a huge sense of activism built in Telangana because primarily most of our leaders connect here. We've done that. But tomorrow, as I just said, ma'am, when the ambition to go national is there, our national committee will be formed, and then you'll see the whole gang of our leaders doing same thing what I'm doing today.
Okay. Wish you all the best, Kavitha. It's always a pleasure having you on the program. Thank you so much. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this interview, share this video as widely as you can, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned to the Federal. Thank you, Kavitha. Thank you so much.